Hi, it's Petra here. Yeah, I was asked several times to show how you create a button in TM, and today I need to add a button to a freight order item screen. So I will show you how to add a button. So I hope you can see my screen. So first of all, I go to the enhancement area, so it's central transaction BOBX, and you have to go to the object that you're interested in. Very often it will be the TOR object, so then you have to create an enhancement for the TOR object. In this system I have already an enhancement for the TOR object, and if you wonder how you have to create that, please look at another video where I have to do a determination. But say you have already an enhancement, okay, with a constants interface and an enhancement object for the TOR object, right? Then you go to node elements, right, because it's going to be an element, and then you have to say on which object you want to do it. In this situation, I want to do it on the item, but maybe on other situation you put it on the header. So I put it on the item, so I will open item TR, and then again I will have to open. And actually what is interesting about the button is you have to create an action first, and then you will assign that action in the floor plan manager. So it's a bit strange. You don't create the button first and then the coding which is behind the button. In some respect you create the coding first, also the framework around the coding, and then you assign this coding in floor plan manager when you really create the button. Yeah, so you open action, which is, it's a part of a coding which will be triggered when you create, also when someone pushes the button. So then you find here all the standard buttons which exist on the item, and you have to go on change mode and you have to say create. So my right mouse click never works, so I will use this, okay, and then you can say create action. Yeah. So for the action name I have my own naming convention, so I will look at the other buttons that I have on the header. Give me a second, because I like names to be clean. So let's see, here I have a few actions. I have a few buttons on the header of the freight order. So I call this, okay, I call it Z enhancement, and then TM, and then action, and then whatever the button shall do. In this case it shall update some other weights, so I will just call it update weights, okay, and then update net weight and tear weight from master date. That's enough. Then you have to say the cardinality, so for how many nodes it shall work. I always put multiple nodes. In this situation it's only on one item, but I still always put multiple nodes. Okay, then I have to say the implementation class, and again I'm going to look at what I have here so that I do the same naming convention. Okay, so do I have to go back a second? Is it that one? I think it's that one, yeah. So I'm copying this, and of course I'm going to change it. So update weight, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Then there is an importing parameter structure. It's not required because I don't have importing parameter. The user will just push the button and that's it. Okay, so I will save it. Alright. And put it into a transport request. And now I love that. You just double click and the system has created. Wait, now I have double clicked on the wrong one. Sorry about that. Where is my button? Item TR. That's the different one. So this one is update weight. So what I wanted to show you is when you double click on the class, it's creating it for you. Isn't this great? I love that. So that's really cool. So then I just give a package name. Okay, it's that TM in our system. Okay. And then I am in the coding and I am starting with the execute. So in the coding, I will just add, show you the framework because you want to have the framework. What's actually your input, right? As an input, if you are on the item, you will get the item key. If you are on the header, you get the header root key, okay? But I just have to copy the coding, the framework that I use from another place where I have already coded the buttons so that you have the framework because you want to also know how to start on this button. So give me a second. I have a look at another button where I do some updates. Let's say this one. Okay, and then I go into the execute method and there I will actually look at the first part of the coding so that you get an idea. Alright, so then I copy that. Okay, copy. And then I go back to my other button. Don't get confused, every enhancement is always behind item and behind root. It's always organized and it's a bit confusing, but it does make sense because at the end you always know where you are coding. So the beginning of the coding, it will give you the key. In this case, the key is not the root, the key is the item. So I would call this as well item. And then I have to declare that. So for declaring, you always have to use the combined structure. So the combined structure, you find it in conf.ui for this. But I'm just gonna do that. I'm again gonna copy from here and then I change this to item tr, just a second. So I'm copying the framework at the beginning and then where's LT root? Okay, LT root. Just a second. Ah, there it is. Okay. That's the combined structure for root, but of course I have to change it to the combined structure for item. Let's see if it brings me back. Oh, it throws me out. Sorry about that. So I will go back. Ah, okay, but it brought me back. Okay, great. So now I'm going into the framework again. So I called this LT item and I wanted to copy this. So now that's the combined structure that I want to declare, and of course it's not item, it's not root, it's item tr. Okay, so let's check it. I did a mistake. What's my mistake? I put type 2 times. Okay, sorry. Okay. And I haven't declared service manager. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna declare service manager. I will pause for a second because you want to know the next step, so I just pause for a second. Okay, I'm back. And I'm going to put the declaration of the service managers. Okay. Okay. And then I just check it and then my action is there. Okay. Okay, what is it? I didn't put it on. Okay, fine. And of course it's not LT root, LT item. Okay, so now I have my framework ready. Okay, and now I'm gonna use this action in the floor plan manager. So for that I'm using SAP Business Client. So now I want to put this button here on the package item. I want to put it there. So what I have to do is I have to go to the screen and then on the screen I will say display configurable areas or I show configurable areas, what you see there. Yeah. So I press this, then the screen becomes blue and be careful, it's different areas. So I want to put it here, then okay. I'm going in the UI, in the user interface, and then I have to wait a little bit. Okay, and now I have this preview, okay, and I want to include an element. So what I do if I want to actually include it here, let's say here at this place, I want to put a button. Oh, wait, I need to go into configuration mode. Very sorry. You should never forget to go into configuration mode, otherwise it's a modification, so it's very important to go here in configuration mode. But sometimes when I make the mistake, people remember that better, so yeah, it's a bad excuse, I know. So, okay, so I have put my button here. I want to have it there. Now I'm in customizing mode, so everything's okay. So then I would do element and I say add button. Okay. So now it's coming with all these actions on the item, and I should find my action. Yeah, I find my action, right? Okay. So you see, I really had to create the action before, otherwise I couldn't do the button. Now you're gonna tell me, okay, that's an ugly description for a button, so I can just overwrite the text here. And there is a better way to do this with translation, but for now I'm just gonna write a text and say update weights. Okay, and then I save it. And as I learned, people don't like to watch long movies, so I will just leave it as it is. And basically you wanted to know how to add a button. I think you saw it, so I keep it short, and I wish you a very nice day, and I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much. Bye bye.